Oh, like
You do it the order you want. Yep. It's just because it's not fun. No, I agree. You step on the scale of 8 pounds, or am I going to have to convert this to kilograms? Or kilograms? It's kilograms. It's okay. Here's the thing. Someone just asked for a okay, but we're over here, so it doesn't matter. What is your huh? Afterwards, but thank you. You're the man. Thank you so much.
Okay. We have two models.
Huh?
We have two ladies models. They come in here, so they can also stand in here.
Who else?
Two models. Yesterday, two models. Did you remember yesterday? Models. Just let's model round the.
All the ring girls. Yeah. Have them stand wherever you want. Where are they at?
Take care of them.
Yeah. John. Exactly. Yes. One guys. One right here, one right here.
Yeah. So
fine.
how do you want to do the order then? Do you want to switch them or just change all of them?
Just move everything down.
Down.
I'm gonna go Garcia and then Mendoza will be 3.
Okay, then.
Kim 4, Hernandez 5, Davidson who's 6.
Oh, okay. So this.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. So this one's second. Okay, so Sean's still first,
Yeah, Sean's still.
and then the 10th person will be second. Who's this? Queso. Okay. And then it'll be second. Abel. Abel. Okay.
Abel will be 3rd.
Okay.
Who's 4? Kim is 4.
So we'll just.
Davidson.
Hernandez is 5.
Okay.
Hernandez is 5. Then Maurice Lee will be 6.
Yes.
And then we got Manny or and who's 7?
Supposedly Davidson and Pat.
Davidson.
Right,
Which one? Marcus?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Seoul, South Korea, as we are getting ready for a very big night of boxing and entertainment. Tomorrow night, it all comes your way here. Compliments of Triller Fight Club, along with Fight Game and World Entertainment. We go live tomorrow night on FiteTV and your local pay-per-view and satellite providers. Coming your way, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. We also have a preview that comes your way starting 2 hours before at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. So 2 hours of free action. And then we go live on pay-per-view, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time on FiteTV and your local pay-per-view and satellite providers on your cable systems. Make sure to join us tomorrow night for a very big night, as it's all being brought to you by Triller Fight Club along with Fight Game and World Entertainment. This is a global event emanating here from Seoul, South Korea. What a week it has been. Also want to let you know about the NFT collection that you can be a part of for Manny Pacquiao and DKU. We want to make sure to do that on Binance and also enter for your chance to win a virtual meet and greet with the 8th Division World Champion, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Also, ladies and gentlemen, before we get ready for our official weigh-in, I want to bring up one of the higher-ups from Triller Fight Club, the always business orientated. He's done so much in his career. Mr. David Tetro, ladies and gentlemen. And also from World Entertainment. World Entertainment Group always supports high quality, high standard, high level, and highly recognized entertainment content building and production. A round of applause for Robert Penn, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Kelly will be handling the weights from Aries Entertainment, and now we will get ready for our official weigh-in. This will be a part of our main card starting at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time on pay-per-view. This one in the lightweight division. We want to bring up from Seoul, South Korea. His record, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Song Ho Yang. This one in the lightweight division. This will kick off our pay-per-view tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. I will be doing the commentary alongside the world champion, Super Bat Sinisa Estrada, and also Amir Tyson, the son of the Hall of Famer Iron Mike Tyson. As here we go, on to the scale we go. We have the Korean Boxing Commission here. 60.5 kilograms for Song Ho Yang. 60.5 kilograms for Song Ho Yang. And his opponent, he comes to us from Victorville, California. His record, a perfect one. 6 bouts, 6 victories. 2 of those coming by way of knockout. Please welcome, making his return to the ring, introducing Sean Garcia. Sean led to the ring tomorrow night by his father, Henry Garcia. This is a part of our future stars of tomorrow, a part of Triller Fight Club. Sean Garcia in impeccable physical shape. What a journey it has been for him to make it to this point. $60.8 kilograms for the undefeated Sean Garcia. This will begin the pay-per-view tomorrow night. Sean Garcia, Song Ho Yang matching up, colliding 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time on your local cable and satellite providers and FiteTV. And it comes your way for the holiday low price of $29.99 in the United States. Both men in impeccable physical shape. What a global event this is here tomorrow night from the Kintex Arena here in Seoul, South Korea. Want to thank our fine host here in Seoul for being gracious to us throughout the entire week. It has been marvelous throughout the entire past couple of days, a part of Fight Week. One night away until our pay-per-view, the return of the 8th division, Manny Pacquiao and DKU. This is Sean Garcia and So-Ho Yang, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at this, gentlemen. Let's, you don't get paid to throw punches today. Leave the physical pleasantries until tomorrow. All right, thank you very much. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. Sean, quickly, I know you're, I know tempers are boiling over, but you know, we don't get paid to throw punches tonight. But Sean, I want to get your thoughts. What did you take away from that stare down between you and your opponent?
I got respect for the game, but if he wants to come up here, December 10th, tomorrow, I'm going to lay some bombs on him. I promise you that.
You've been saying all week you're predicting a knockout. Are you still sticking with that prediction?
Oh, yeah, he's out of there. It ain't lasting 4 rounds.
Did it upset you even more that he sort of put the fist underneath your chin?
100,000%.
You heard it from Sean Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him. All right, we will go ahead. Oh, nice. Look at that respect. Gotta love it. Very nice, gentlemen. Hey, look, that's what happens. You get ready to compete in a prize fight with so much on the line between both men. This one now, 8 rounds in the bantamweight division. As we want to bring up to the scale, first of all, here is Shin Jong-hoon. Shin Jong-hoon, a well-accomplished amateur here in Seoul, South Korea. $54.88 kilograms for Shin Jong-hoon. 54.88 kilograms for Shin Jong-hoon. And his opponent, Queso. Tomorrow night, all brought to you by Triller Fight Club, along with Fight K and World Entertainment. David Tetro on the stage, along with Robert Pat. Queso. $54.82 kilograms for Queso. Queso, Shin Jong-hoon. This one in the bantamweight division. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we come your way starting tomorrow night with a preview. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time on FiteTV and your local cable and satellite providers. You get 2 hours of action for free. Then we go live on pay-per-view, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time with our main card for the low price of $29.99. This is Queso and Shin Jong-hoon. Look at that. Wow, they're hugging. Certainly didn't happen before that with Sean Garcia and his opponent, Ho Yang. But nonetheless, that's another topic for another day. All right, let's get ready for our next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, as we want to bring up to the scale this one. As we want to bring up to the stage from Seoul, South Korea, Min-kook Ju. A truly global event that we are honored to be a part of here in Seoul, South Korea, Min-kook Ju. $65.6 kilograms for Min-kook Ju. And his opponent, he's undefeated, 33 fights, 33 victories, 27 of those coming by way of knockout. Hailing from El Paso, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated Abel Mendoza. Look at that athleticism. Oh, my goodness. He jumped higher than that of LeBron James, for crying out loud. Give that man a basketball. Anyways, Abel Mendoza getting ready to tip the scale here. Tremendous athlete. Abel Mendoza. $60.35 kilograms for the undefeated Abel Mendoza. 60.35 kilograms for Abel Mendoza. Incidentally, Abel was doing some training with Manny Pacquiao earlier in the week here in Seoul. Abel Mendoza, Min Kook Ju. Mendoza and Ju squaring off tomorrow night. Do not miss it. Our free view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, pay-per-view, cable and satellite provider, and FiteTV, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. You know what, let me go ahead and grab Abel Mendoza momentarily. Abel, it is great to see you. Look over here towards the cameras, but obviously, a very big opportunity for you, displaying incredible athleticism. It's obvious you're in fantastic physical shape, but what's going through your mind right now ahead of your matchup tomorrow?
I just got to take care of business. You know, I put in the work, and tomorrow we're going to see what that's about. You know, take care of business and put on a good show, put on a good fight, make sure everybody enjoys it, and make it exciting. And, you know what we come here for. We didn't come here just for nothing. We want to end up with a knockout.
What is it like fighting here in Seoul, South Korea, being a part of such a global event?
It's amazing. The culture here, the Koreans, they took us in, and I'm grateful to be here. I'm definitely going to come back, and, you know, even if it's not for boxing, I'm going to come back and visit. I love Korea.
Yeah, so do I. I love the Korean barbecue. Give it up for Abel Mendoza, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Abel. Now we go ahead and get ready for a matchup, this one in the welterweight division. Very much looking forward to this confrontation. First of all, we want to welcome from Kansas City, Kansas. He is one half of the Davidson brothers. He's undefeated, 5 wins, no losses. Here is Marcel Davidson. What a night that we have planned for all of you tomorrow, coming your way from the Kintex Arena here in Seoul, South Korea. We go live on pay-per-view, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. We have a loaded night of boxing and entertainment coming your way. And it's all headlined by the return of the 8th Division World Champion, Manny Pacquiao, and DKU. First on the scale, we have Marcus Davidson. $65.95 kilograms for the unbeaten Marcus Davidson. 65.95 kilograms for the undefeated Marcus Davidson. And his opponent, who's had success in his career in the United States, his record nearly perfect. 16 wins, opposite just 1 blemish. Coming to us from Seoul, South Korea, here is Min-Wook Kim. $66.2 kilograms for Min-Wook Kim. 66.2 kilograms for Min-Wook Kim. Min-Wook Kim making his return to the ring after a layoff, but lo and behold, he has a big matchup ahead of him. Marcus Davidson and Minwoo Kim. What a matchup this is going to be. Marcus, stay up here momentarily. Let me go ahead and slide by one of our lovely ring card girls here. Marcus, as you take a look at the stare down, obviously he's in very good physical shape, impeccable physical shape, I must say. So are you, but how excited are you to put on a show tomorrow night here in Seoul, South Korea?
I'm very excited to be on this platform, to be here to share the stage with Manny Pacquiao and all these guys. I'm truly grateful. I'm here to put on a show tomorrow.
Your opponent had success all over the world, especially, though, in North America and the United States. So what kind of statement are you looking to make against a guy who's come over to the United States? You're coming over here to his backyard to make an impression.
I'm looking to make a fashionable statement tomorrow. I'm here to stay. Like I said, those 16 opponents that he faced, they not like me. I'm bringing something different to the table tomorrow. Y'all will see that.
You mentioned a fashionable statement is what you're looking to make. Can you elaborate on that?
Just look impressive. Speed, power, defense, everything's going to be on point tomorrow.
You heard it from Marcus Davidson. Give it up for him. Good luck, Marcus. All right, we continue with our weigh-in. This one will be our co-main event of the evening. This one at 115 pounds. As we want to bring on to the stage with a record of 6 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, hailing from right here in Seoul, South Korea. Introducing Jae-Young Kim. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a part of the Manny Pacquiao DKU NFT collection, all you have to do, very easy and simple, go to Binance right now, be a part of it, and also enter for your chance to win a virtual meet and greet with the great 8th Division World Champion, Manny Pacquiao. Check it out on Binance. But first on the scale, Jae-Young Kim. $51.98 kilograms for Jae-Young Kim. 51.98 kilograms for Jae-Young Kim. And his opponent, his record a perfect one. 8 fights, 8 victories, 5 of those coming by way of knockout. A well-accomplished and decorated amateur capturing Olympic bronze for the United States at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. As we welcome on to the stage, here is the undefeated Nico Hernandez. This is a part of the future stars of boxing. Compliments of Triller Fight Club. Also Aries Entertainment. As we bring on to the stage the undefeated Nico Hernandez. Wow, Nico is eating before he steps on the scale. Unbelievable. You don't see that every day. 51.88 kilograms for the undefeated Nico Hernandez. 51.88 kilograms for Nico Hernandez. Boy, what a matchup this is going to be, a co-main event. I love the lighter weight classes. They are fast and furious, and just look at the physique of both men. 8 rounds or less. Key emphasis on less. Nico Hernandez, Jae-Young Kim, ladies and gentlemen. What a matchup that we have in our co-main event. This one right before Pacquiao and you. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Let me go ahead and slide and talk with the undefeated Nico Hernandez. Nico, I found it to be very interesting. We were waiting for you to come on the scale, and I was a little curious why the delay. It's because you wanted to go ahead and eat, which is something rather, uncustomary. So tell us about your ability here to not only make weight, but look in outstanding physical shape ahead of your matchup in your co-main event against Jae-Young Kim.
Yeah, I put all the hard work in, and way was easy to be made. So, you know, when you work hard and make the way easy, you can do stuff like that. And I'm ready to come out here and put on a show. I'm co-main event for Manny Pacquiao, man. I'm excited. So.
You fought all over the world. I mentioned the fact that you captured Olympic bronze for the United States in 2016 in Rio, but fighting here overseas in Seoul, South Korea, what does this mean to you?
It means a lot. You know, I'm so blessed to be on this platform and be able to fight in front of all the Korean fans and, you know, everybody around the world. This is global. It's not local. This is global. So, you know, this is what I do. I've been, you know, placed here to put on a show for everybody and do my thing and come out victorious, and that's what I'm going to do.
Good luck tomorrow, Nico.
Thank you.
You heard it from Nico Hernandez. It's not local, it's global. Give it up for the undefeated Olympic bronze medalist, Nico Hernandez. And now we want to bring up a matchup, and boy, oh boy, when it comes to tempers boiling over, I think we have to look at this one as being the one that probably has the most bad blood out of the entire card. And you know what? Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned grudge match? I enjoy it. Here we go, 6 rounds in the welterweight division. As we want to bring up from Seoul, South Korea, his record, 4 wins, 3 losses, 1 bout even. Hailing here from Seoul, South Korea, please welcome Shin Young Kim. Here we go, Shin Young Kim. $67.75 kilograms for Shin Young Kim. 67.75 kilograms for Shin Young Kim. And his opponent, 13 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. He spent time sparring with Floyd Money Mayweather and the great Manny Pacquiao. Great to see him in the ring. He's always entertaining. He has a unique style, and boy, can he just downright fight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Maurice Victorious Lee. Maurice Victorious Lee. $67.6 kilograms for Maurice Victorious Lee. 67.6 kilograms for Maurice Victorious Lee. Think about a 6-pack. That man has an 8-pack. Look at that. Unbelievable. All right, now here's the face-off. But again, gentlemen, let me go ahead and give a PSA. You don't get paid to throw punches now. Save that until you actually are getting paid to do so. Maurice Victorious Lee and his adversary, Shin Young Kim. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Maurice, let me go ahead and have a conversation with you once you're done with your conversation here with your opponent. All right, let me talk with Maurice Victorious Lee. Maurice, you are in outstanding physical shape. There's obviously animosity between you two. Where did that stem from between you guys?
This is a bum.
It's a bum. Why are you saying he's a bum?
Because he's a bum.
In terms of?
He's a bum.
You just feel like you're far superior than him.
I've beat the best of my generation.
So now, what kind of statement, you mentioned yesterday during the press conference, you said 30 seconds or less. Are you sticking with that prediction tomorrow night on pay-per-view?
My word is my word. I am the best.
And then you said after this,
He bet the check, but he ain't going to be around to give it to me. I'm a prophet.
All right, ladies.
I'm dogging this fighter. Tune in. They should have made me co-main event, but after this, I'll be main event. Believe that. I'm the best.
Maurice Victorious Lee, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need nothing to be said after that. Maurice Victorious Lee. I love the passion when fighters come with that. If you think that's something, wait until that bell rings tomorrow night on pay-per-view, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time on your local cable or satellite provider. Again, it's all being brought to you by Triller Fight Club along with World Entertainment and Fight K. Want to thank Robert Penn, who's on the stage as well, David Tetro, and the lovely Miss Pearl, who have been amazing hosts to us all week long here in Seoul, South Korea. Now we get ready for a matchup, this one in the bantamweight division. As we want to bring onto the scale, this matchup is between two unbeaten fighters. As they say in prize fighting, someone so it's got to go. Please welcome from Seoul, South Korea, his record 2 wins, no losses. Please welcome Yoon Bin Han. Again, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, check out Binance.com and be a part of the Pacquiao U NFT collection. First onto the scale, Yoon Bin Han. 61.1 kilograms for the undefeated Yoon Bin Han. And his opponent, his brother weighed in earlier and was in outstanding physical shape, and now we want to bring up, he's also undefeated, the second half of the Davidson brothers, 3 wins, no losses, from Kansas City, Kansas. Here is Marcel Davidson. $60.75 kilograms for Marcel Davidson. Marcel Davidson and Yoon Bin Han. They will match up tomorrow night from the Kintex Arena here in Seoul, South Korea. Don't forget, our pay-per-view goes live 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time in your local cable or satellite providers. Also, FiteTV as well. And think David Tetro talk with Ryan Kavanaugh to make it. It's not $60, it's not $70, it's not $80, $29.99. The holiday value. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Will actions speak louder than words? Tomorrow night we will find out. Face off, guys, and look at the cameras. Marcel Davidson, Yoon Bin Han. I thought the bad blood was over on the fight card. Apparently, I was wrong. Marcel, come on up here. Stick here with us. So, it caught me by surprise when he went ahead and put the thumbs down at you. What is your response?
I'm not worrying about none of that. I know December 10th, I'm going to be victorious at the end of the day.
How big of an opportunity is this for you? I mean, you know, I know that it sounds cliche, but it bears repeating anyway. We're far away from Kansas here in Seoul, South Korea.
Definitely. This is definitely a big experience. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to fight Manny Pacquiao undercard. December 10th, it's going to be fireworks. You're going to see the best 135 pounder in the game.
Did you take anything away from the stare down aside from the fact that he gave you the thumbs down?
Nah, I ain't worrying about none of that. He got to throw his hands at the end of the day.
What's it like being on a card with your brother Marcus as well? I mean, your journey as brothers is just remarkable.
I'm very grateful. We're ready to put on a show. We're ready to show the fans we're here to stay, like he said. We're just ready to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the undefeated Marcel Davidson from Kansas City, Kansas. And we will continue with our weigh-in here in Seoul as we have a matchup, this one in the women's flyweight division. Gonna bring up from right here in Seoul, South Korea, introducing Hyu Soo-jang. We literally have a little bit of everything for all of you fight fans around the world. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time on pay-per-view. Contact your local cable or satellite provider. Do it now. You do not want to be left out of this tremendous night of boxing and entertainment. A unique experience when it comes to prize fighting. As we bring onto the scale, Hyu Soo-jang. .98 kilograms for Hyu Soo-jang. 48.98 kilograms for Hyu Soo-jang. And her opponent also here from Seoul, South Korea. Introducing Yi Ji Lee. This is Yi Ji Lee. 48.94 kilograms for Yi Ji Lee. It is great, and I think it's going to be so interesting because we have a world champion doing commentary with me, Sinisa Superbad Estrada, and these women are going to be able to display their talent in front of the world champion. Women's boxing has had the best year in the history of its sport here in 2022. I know Sinisa's talking about unification in the first quarter of 2023. Cannot wait to see that. And I know she will no doubt be entertained by these two women, Lee and Jang, matching up tomorrow night on pay-per-view. Look at this. Well, they're smiling at each other tomorrow, but they're going to be throwing punches with bad intentions, and those smiles will certainly dissipate once that bell rings. Thank you very much, ladies. We greatly appreciate it. Now we focus our attention to the heavyweight division, and who doesn't love to watch the big guys inside the... As we want to bring up to the scale from Seoul, South Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Young Kyu Kim. The heavyweights going at it. If you want to go ahead and you can weigh in however you want. You take off your shirt or you don't have to. Totally up to you. No limit, so you can weigh on with your the scales with full shirts or not. The heavyweight division certainly, obviously, always has been very exciting. People love it. Yeah, show off that physique there, Kim. The official weight for Young Kyu Kim, 94.8 kilograms. For Young Kyu Kim, 94.8 kilograms for Kim. And his opponent from Seoul, South Korea, ladies and gentlemen, here is Nam Shin Kim. He's just going to tip the scale right away. Go ahead and hit. $117.95 kilograms for Nam Shin Kim. Nam Shin Kim and Young Kyu Kim matching up in the heavyweight division tomorrow night from right here at the Kintex Arena in Seoul, South Korea. Look at this, the ceremonial stare down. Looking forward to this matchup. between both Kims. Which Kim will reign victorious tomorrow night on pay-per-view? All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up one of my broadcast colleagues for tomorrow night. He is the son of the Hall of Famer, one of the greatest ever to do it. And I think it's interesting because he's actually, we were talking about the heavyweight division. Give it up for Amir Tyson. Amir, what was your takeaway from the weigh-in? I was up here and I felt a lot of tension. You're no stranger to watching your dad being a part of some rather combustible fight cards, but what did you take away from what we've seen thus far?
I mean, my favorite thing was Maurice being Ivan Drago West saying, if he dies, he dies. Like, I can't
Well,
wait.
let's hope we don't have that, but I know what you're saying.
I know, but just like, you know, the intensity to it, you know, we know what he means by that, but these fighters are ready to go. They're bringing that energy at the weigh-in, and we'll see what happens.
Obviously, the fighters, I mean, we really, as we look at how they all seem very focused, they all seem very determined, and there's a passion that we are witnessing being exhibited from every single one of the fighters, even from the fighters here in Seoul that really, you know, are coming out and looking to make a statement, trying to defend their backyard.
I mean, they can defend their backyard, but all this talk, you have to do it in the ring. You know, you can talk all you want, but your hands have to fly, and we'll see who's victorious from there.
Let's talk about our co-main event with Nico Hernandez as he collides against Jae Young Kim. Nico Hernandez, the Olympic bronze medalist, obviously very well accomplished, looking to get closer to the double-digit win mark, but this is a very big opportunity for him on the co-main event on a card of this magnitude.
Yeah, he's a good energy, good kid. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see what he does, fight in person, and he'll do his best, and I'm sure his opponent will do his best as well.
Obviously, Amir, can you talk to us about the hospitality, the energy that we've had here from the South Koreans and the entire Fight Week experience as a whole?
Everyone's excited. Manny Pacquiao, the legend, he's back in the ring. Korean people, a lot of hospitality, very kind, very good-hearted people, and I respect that a lot.
All right, Amir Tyson, ladies and gentlemen, part of the broadcast team, and now it gives me the great honor and pleasure to introduce a dear friend and obviously one of the most talented women fighters on the planet. The world champion herself, looking an inch closer to unification. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sanisa Superman Estrada. Sanisa, great to see you. Now, one thing I got to ask you about our women's fight between Lee and Zhang. Women's boxing has had the best year here in 2022. You have been instrumental and a part of that movement, but what's it like, the fact that you fought a month ago, defended your title, looked impressive in the process, didn't lose a second of the fight, and now you're here in Seoul, South Korea, commentating Pacquiao, but you also have a women's fight on the undercard.
Yeah, I'm so excited about the women's fight. It's in the flyweight division, which is also my weight division as well. So I'm excited to see the ladies go at it. It's been such a great year in the United States for women's boxing. So to just be here in South Korea and support the ladies and watch them fight is going to be probably one of the favorite fights of the night for me.
I almost feel like when we have, you know, cards like this and there's a women's fight or two on the card, that the women want to upstage the guys, and to be honest, especially here in 2022, that has been the case.
Yes, on most boxing cards in the U.S. or anywhere around the world, the women's boxing fights are the most exciting fights on the card, and it's because we just have so much more to prove and so much to show to everyone to prove that we belong here as well.
I almost feel like when you are competing, especially at the level that you do, and that all these women do at the professional level, under the lights, on a card of this magnitude, that you have to be in the best possible shape and ready to go and fight every single second of every round. You can't even go ahead and prolong it and take 5 or 6 seconds off.
We can't. No, we have to go in there. We have to prove why we belong here and why we would deserve everything that the men get in the sport of boxing. So like you said, every minute and every second of the round is exciting. And for us women, we only fight 2-minute rounds. So we have to go in there and from the beginning to the end, just give it our all.
You are a student of the sport of boxing, having watched the great Manny Pacquiao. You grew up in the gym with Sergio Mora, a dear friend of mine as well. But what is it like to be able to, you actually did the speed challenge, you and Sean Garcia with Manny Pacquiao. What was that like?
Oh, it was amazing. It's such an amazing experience to be here with Manny Pacquiao. I never could have imagined to not only growing up and watching Manny Pacquiao, he's always been a huge inspiration, but to be able to call one of his fights is just the best feeling, and he's just the most humble person and the nicest person, and to be able to get in the ring with him and do the speed challenge with him was just incredible, and I'm excited to call his fight.
You are a world champion, but you also pay attention to many things when it comes to mannerisms, preparation. Have you picked up on anything from Manny this week that you're going to be able to utilize for your career moving forward? Because you are at such a high level. I mentioned the fact that you're inching closer to unification, which is something that you very much want. But have you taken anything away from Manny Pacquiao's demeanor, his attitude this week?
Yeah, I think what I've learned from Manny this week is his work ethic. No matter the age, he's still training as if he's in his prime, and it's incredible. His speed is still there, and it's all because he continues to work hard every single day, and no matter who his opponent is and who's in front of him, and he's fought the best from Barrera, Morales to Oscar De La Hoya, Miguel Cotto, Timothy Bradley. The list goes on. That's just a few. So he goes in there 100% prepared every time, and he still does, even at the age that he's at now.
I'm glad he pointed that out, because even at 43 years of age, I was talking with his trainer, Buboy Fernandez, and Buboy told you and I, he goes, you think Manny's ready for a big prize fight? Manny is training for this fight against DKU as if he was training for one of those big moments that he's had in his illustrious career, becoming an 8 division world champion.
Yes, he has, and I think he knows that he needs to, because DK is coming in to win as well, and he's a lot bigger physically. He has the height, he has the reach, he has the advantage on Manny. So Manny knows he needs to go in there 110% prepared, because DK can also make it a little difficult for Manny as well with his style and the way he fights.
Okay, so if you give me a moment, I want to get into the mind of the fighter. So if you were fighting someone significantly bigger than you, which you do not, because obviously you're still professional prize fighting, you actually have to make the weight limit, have to be right, similar and close. But how would you handle fighting a significantly bigger opponent if you were Manny Pacquiao?
If I was Manny Pacquiao, I would stay patient. I think in the fight, the early rounds are going to be a little slow. The fight might start a little slow because Manny is smaller, and he has to be more patient and cautious to get in the inside and land his shots that he wants to land. So I believe we might have a slow start in the beginning, and DK said at the press conference that his main focus is to focus on his movement. That's the game plan, and what he means by that is that he needs to focus on his footwork and his distance and his reach to keep Manny off, because once Manny gets inside, that's where Manny is the most dangerous. So it's going to be interesting in the beginning, but I think towards the end of the fight, it's going to get very interesting.
I think it's almost a guarantee, though, at some point or another, when they have that filling out process, as you know, being a fighter yourself, someone's going to hit each other hard and clean, and then at that point, all bets are off. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree. Like I said, the beginning, it might start a little slow, but they're both going to be cautious, filling each other out. Manny has to make sure that he gets his timing down, and with DK's height and reach and his movement, it might be a little difficult at first to get that timing down, but once Manny gets it down, he's going to get closer, and that's where he's going to be able to land his ferocious shots.
Sinisa, greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to doing the commentary with you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the world champion, Sinisa Superbad Estrada. And now we are joined alongside by my dear friend, David Tetro from Triller Fight Club. And I got to ask you, David, I mean, Manny Pacquiao, 43 years of age, 8 division world champion. He went ahead and bid his farewell last year in August of 2021 in Las Vegas. What a moment that was, as fight fans were able to say goodbye. But somehow or another, I missed him, you missed him, the world missed him. But the guy to get him back inside the ring was you, along with Piquet and World Entertainment. How did you do it?
Well, it all started early this summer. Number of long-distance Zoom calls early in the morning, working closely with DKU and his entire team, working closely with Michael Weber at Fight and our incredible team at Triller. working with Ryan Kavanaugh. And our goal was to bring a great event, you know, in the spirit of what Ryan Kavanaugh created for Triller Fight Club, you know, with Tyson Jones and all of that entertainment that gets around it. And in doing so, we were able to bring together a world-class fight where you're bringing the martial arts expertise of DKU and the boxing legend of Manny Pacquiao. And when we really looked at this, we were really inspired by back the days in the wild 70s when people wanted the Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee fight. And we said, we've got this. Manny Pacquiao is one of the most incredible boxers that's ever walked the planet, facing DKU, who teaches his warfare combat system around the world. He has students in Germany, he has students in Argentina, France, everywhere in the world, and he's taught this amazing system about how people move their bodies and protect themselves and use less energy, and they're calm. So I'm really excited, Triller is really excited to see that on display for this fight tomorrow. It's going to be a great fight, and we're excited.
Well, also, David, the entire promotion has been global but unique. I remember being at home and watching the kickoff press conference, but it wasn't just any typical kickoff press conference. You did it, but in a technologically different way. DKU was in Los Angeles. Manny Pacquiao wasn't, but yet they had a face-off, and not by Zoom, which I'm okay with Zoom. I like Zoom, but you did it in such a unique way. For those who didn't see or forgot about what you did for the kickoff press conference, what did you do, and how did you accomplish it?
Well, it started with Kim Hurwitz, who's our Chief Marketing Officer for Fight.
Gotta love Kim, by the way.
She's fantastic. She brought us this incredible idea through the Proto Studio in Los Angeles. Proto does a hologram, and they're able to deliver people anywhere in the world, and they appear in their same size. It's like they're there in person. Manny was doing press for this fight in Korea at the time. Proto has a studio in Korea. We brought DK into Los Angeles. We worked out of the Proto studio, and we did basically boxing's first ever hologram press conference. It was a tremendous event. It really kicked this promotion off, showed the uniqueness of what we're doing. It fit the whole Triller vibe. And we were able to just kind of kick everything off in a grand fashion. And, you know, like I said, Kim Hurwitz, my hat's off to her for pulling that off for us.
Also, David, this is a global event because it is happening tomorrow night on pay-per-view, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. But I'm sure it's not easy to pull off an event of this magnitude with all the different moving parts. But the gravity, the global scale, the fact that we have fighters from North America fighting here against fighters from Seoul, South Korea. You have Manny Pacquiao taking on DKU in this unique matchup. There are so many unique parts of this entire event, but it is such a seismic event on a global scale.
Well, that's what we did. Like I said, those meetings that we had with FightK promotion all throughout the summer, it was all planning what you're saying, a seismic global event. You know, DK worked very closely with us on pairing up our future stars. I worked very closely with Joe Kelly at Aries Entertainment, who manages all these great future stars that we have on this card. We were able to add a few extras that really take it to the next level. DK and his team brought in the fighters from South Korea. And that's what we've got. We've got a global seismic event that's taking place tomorrow in the Triller fashion.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what I love is that you gotta have to really commend both fighters, Pacquiao and DKU, for taking on a challenge like this. Their careers are set. They've already made gazillions of dollars. They don't need to do this. But not only did they sign on the dotted line, but they are taking this as if it's the biggest fight of their lives.
Well, that's what's great about them. I think Sinisa really encapsulated the way these two men are training, especially with her observance of what Manny has been doing. We were at our media workout just the other night, and Manny's work ethic for the media workout was incredible, and we actually staged a secondary media workout, and he was working just as hard. Same thing with DK. DK's work ethic is incredible. All of that will be on display, and that's really part of what we're bringing here. And when we look at both Manny Pacquiao and DKU, Triller Fight Club wants to be in business with both of them, whatever the outcome of this fight is. We're looking at doing things with DK globally. We're looking at setting up something amazing with Manny Pacquiao, whether it's Floyd Mayweather or somebody else. We want to be in business with both these gentlemen because not only are they great athletes, not only are they great fighters, not only are they great people, they are just incredible global stars that are going to take this to the next level, and we want to be part of their careers.
David, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Amazing job, and we look forward to our main event.
Thank you so much, Ray. Everything you've done this week has been just incredible. We appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you very much, David Tetro, the boss himself from Triller Fight Club alongside Ryan Kavanaugh. Now, before I get ready to bring up our main event, I want to bring up from Fight K, Miss Pearl. If Miss Pearl is in the area here, we want to bring up the lovely Miss Pearl from Fight Cave. She can come onto the stage and be a part of our weigh-in. There's Miss Pearl. Let's give a round of applause to Miss Pearl. As my man Sean Gibbons from MP Promotions likes to say, Viva Miss Pearl, ladies and gentlemen. Viva Miss Pearl from Fight K. We have Miss Pearl from Fight K, an instrumental part of this global event. David Tetro from Triller Fight Club, and also Robert Pan from World Entertainment Group always supports high quality, high standard, high level, and highly recognized entertainment content building and production. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the words of the Hall of Famer, may he rest in peace, Mills Lane, it's time for our main event. Let's get it on as we bring up the fighters to the stage. First of all, a social media superstar, a martial arts sensation, fighting out right here in his hometown of Seoul, South Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome DKU. DKU getting ready to tip the scale here, 6 rounds or less in this special matchup. This will be our main event, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time on pay-per-view. Check your local cable and satellite provider. Also, Fight TV, it's all being brought to you by Triller Fight Club, Fight Game, and World Entertainment. As DKU will make his way onto the scale, getting ready for the biggest fight of his life, against the legend himself. DK, want to go ahead and come on to the scale. Here we go. This is DKU, ladies and gentlemen. $78.95 kilograms for DKU. Look at that. Already, he's fast and ready to go. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no introduction and has entertained boxing fans millions upon millions, I'd even say probably a billion plus, around the world over and over and over again. The 8th Division World Champion will no doubt be a first ballot Hall of Famer, having beaten a litany and illustrious names with a record of 62 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws from Serengeti Province in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the all-time greats, Manny Pacquiao. Welcome back, Manny, to Prize Fighting. Manny being trained by Boy Hernandez for this matchup. Sean Gibbons from MP Promotions also up on the stage as well. Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, ladies and gentlemen. $73.1 kilograms for Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. 73.1 kilograms for Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, DKU, matching up tomorrow night in our main event on pay-per-view from right here in Seoul, South Korea. Brought to you by Triller Fight Club, Fight Game, and World Entertainment. Comes away from the Kintex Arena. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time for the low price. Thank you, David and Ryan Kavanaugh, for $29.99, under $30 is how you can get this tremendous night of entertainment. Here we go with the face-off with Manny Pacquiao and DKU. Manny Pacquiao returning to the ring for the first time since August of last year. Gentlemen, shirts off if you can. Well, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, the fanfare, and also want to thank the media from around the world. Here we go. Manny, go ahead and show off that physique, my friend. Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao and a DKU matching up in our main event. From right here in Seoul, South Korea, live on pay-per-view. Gentlemen, stay up here. I'm going to talk with DKU momentarily. Let me go ahead and talk with DKU over here. You go ahead and slide by you, Robert. DK, how are you feeling? What did you take away from the face-off between you and the 8th Division World Champion, Manny Pacquiao?
I'm just exciting.
What emotions are you feeling like as you prepare? This is your home country. This is your hometown. This is where you grew up. This is where you became the global social media and martial arts superstar. But what does tomorrow night mean to you?
When I have a chance, I'm gonna show my zero-inch punch against Manny Pacquiao, and I got a lot of energy from the Korean people, so I'm very happy.
What's your prediction for tomorrow night against Manny?
I just focus on my movement against Manny Pacquiao.
Well, you look tremendous. You already are kind of using some of your movements. I feel like you're ready to fight tonight if you could.
Yes, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for DKU. Good luck, DK. And now let me go ahead and move over and talk with Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Manny, it has been since August of last year since you stepped inside the ring, but what does tomorrow night mean to the 8th Division World Champion, Manny Pacquiao?
It means a lot to me because this is my first time to get into the ring since when I was announced my retirement. So I'm so excited for tomorrow night.
One thing I talked with Sinisa Estrada about was the size difference. How are you planning on combating that tomorrow night against DKU, a fighter who has a unique and unorthodox style?
Well, it's new to me because I'm fighting with a martial art expert, so it's kind of different style. So we'll see in the ring.
What are you hoping to demonstrate tomorrow night live on pay-per-view?
Well, I want to show myself that Manny Pacquiao is still there in boxing, and this is also a good exhibition match and a charity event we can help other people.
I've known you for many years, and I always ask you this in my final question before a big prize fight. What is your prediction for your collision against DKU?
My prediction is it's going to be a good action tomorrow. I'm not saying that I'm going to there's a knockout, but it's going to be a good show, and people will enjoy it.
All right. Thank you very much, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, ladies and gentlemen, the 8th Division World Champion. We will see you tomorrow night on pay-per-view, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. Call your local cable or satellite provider. Also, FiteTV, brought to you by Triller Fight Club, also Fight K and World Entertainment. We'll see you tomorrow night for Manny Pacquiao and DKU. So long from South Korea.